Evening, everybody. Morning and afternoon somewhere else. All right, let's talk about CVT and belts. So, what's CVT? CVT stands for Continuous Variable Transmission. And why do we talk about it? Well, because my scooter uses CVT to spin the wheel. And let's just dive right into it. So, if I were to explain this in like 2 seconds, I would just say these two pulleys are having like ego battles. So this pulley has a centrifugal force, and this pulley has a weapon called spring. So we want the force 1 and force 2. Like at first, force 2, the spring force is greater than the centrifugal force because obviously it ain't spinning at all. But as it spins faster, as the engine spins faster, the centrifugal force is going to overcome the spring's force. So it's going to rev it higher. So the belt is going to push. The belt's going to be pushed all the way to the top of the face of the variator. What we call this is a variator. What we call this is a clutch. But anyways, and that's how I would explain it. And here's the piston, and this is the wall, and there's the crankshaft. So within the variator, this is slanted like this, slanted inward. So the centrifugal force always applies this way. You don't want to be applying this way, otherwise you're pushing, so it don't work. So one's like pulling. I guess one's pushing this way, another one's pushing this way, and once this centrifugal force is spinning, I just say variator is spinning faster, so that it overcomes the spring's constant, and it's gonna push the belt all the way up, and this is what we call it a belt change. So gear change. The gear ratio is obviously the belt's length is finite, so as the belt moves up to the top, the variator is going to sit, the clutch side is going to sit on the bottom, so this is going to have a higher gear ratio. So obviously it would have less torque but higher speed, and that's what we want at the top speed. We don't want much torque, we want more speed, so it's going to spin the rear wheel faster. And obviously at start, since as the RPM gets lower, the force is going to, the spring is going to eat the centrifugal force alive, and it's gonna, the belt's gonna go up in this way, and then the belt's gonna sit inward here as well. So it's just kind of like a tug of war. Two pulleys are fighting each other, and what we use for specific experiment for us, I ended up with 42 grams of roller weights, and we'll be testing BX31, everyone's favorite. I guess somebody doesn't like it, AX31, which is being used by a lot of the performance scooters, mopeds, and our stock. So in our next video, we'll be comparing the three belts and see which one has the best top speed, the best acceleration at 0 to 15 miles an hour, 15 to 25 miles an hour, and just kind of how the overall feeling is. But this is how CVT works in my mind, and I hope you guys had a better understanding of how CVT works. Oh, actually, before we jump on to BX, AX, and stock belts, BX31 is the beefiest and the longest belts out of these three. AX31 is the narrower and the shortest belt, and stock is just kind of being in the middle. Stock is slightly thicker than the AX31, but definitely not as thick as BX31. The stock is slightly longer than AX31, but slightly shorter than BX31. So we'll be comparing these three and see how it goes. Thank you.